This is my first time at Davos, and I find it quite a bewildering experience, to be honest. I mean, 1,500 private jets have flown in here to hear Sir David Attenborough speak about, how we're wrecking the planet. And I hear people talk in the language of participation and justice and equality and transparency. But then, almost no one raises the real issue of tax avoidance, right? And of the rich just not paying their fair share. It feels like I'm at a firefighters conference and no one's allowed to speak about water, right? there was only one panel, actually.
Well, we've had two. You're the second of our panelists.
There was only one panel.
Let's go there.
One panel hidden away in the media center that was actually about tax avoidance. Yeah. I was one of the 15 participants. So something needs to change here.
Yeah, I totally agree with him. Something needs to change there. And finally, someone is realizing it and pointing it with his finger. Hopefully it will change the future, but I'm not so sure about that one.
10 years ago, the World Economic Forum asked the question, what must industry do to prevent a broad social backlash? The answer is very simple. Just stop talking about philanthropy and start talking about taxes. Taxes. We need to, just 2 days ago, there was a billionaire in here, what's his name? Michael Dell. And he asked the question like, name me one country where a top marginal tax rate of 70% has actually worked. And, I'm a historian. The United States, that's where it has actually worked. In the 1950s, during Republican president.
Yeah, I don't think taxes are going to solve anything, honestly. If you look at how our government is running nowadays, whether in the United States or in Europe, you can see that they are wasting money. There are tons of fraud and corruption and waste and abuse into our own government. And they spend our taxpayer money the wrong way. And it's everywhere like this. So more taxes is probably not going to be the solution ultimately.
Eisenhower, the war veteran, the top marginal tax rate in the US was 91% for people like Michael Dell. The top estate tax for people like Michael Dell was more than 70%. This is not rocket science. We can talk for a very long time about all these stupid philanthropy schemes. We can invite Bono once more, but come on, we got to be talking about taxes. Yeah, exactly. That's it, taxes. All the rest is bullshit, in my opinion.
We have a tax system that leaks so much that allows $170 billion of money every year to be taken to tax havens and to be denied the developing countries that need that money most. So we have to look at the business model and we have to look at the role of governments to tax and plow back money into people's lives.
I agree. She's 100% right about that one.
I have to say, honestly, this is a very one-sided panel. The U.S. basically has the lowest unemployment rate ever, the lowest black unemployment rate ever, the lowest youth unemployment ever. We've actually reduced poverty around the world. No one's talking about that at all. So I'd like for the panel to talk about beyond taxes, which every one of you have talked about. The only thing you've talked about in this whole panel on inequality, what can we really do to help solve inequality over time beyond taxes?
The gentleman who said we've just talked taxes and that jobs are there and there's low and unemployment rates are low. Let me tell you something. We're talking about jobs, but the quality of those jobs. And
yeah, there are plenty of jobs that are in the future going to be replaced by robots, by AI, by machines. And what you want is people with skills. You want great job, high-skilled job, high-paying job, and not jobs that are overworking you, where you have to work for basically the minimum wage and long hours and in terrible conditions. And that's most of the job, unfortunately, nowadays. And if you want to be a high-skilled worker, you have to go through a rigorous and a failure of a school system, of an education system. Our school, our universities are very expensive and they are not the best, honestly. So we have to do something there on the education side as well.
I also work with poultry workers in the richest country in the world, the United States. Poultry workers. These are women who are cutting the chickens and packing them, and we buy them in the supermarkets. Dolores, one woman we work with there, told us that she and her co-workers have to wear diapers to work because they are not allowed toilet breaks. This is in the richest country in the world. That's not a dignified job. Those are the jobs we are being told about, that globalization is bringing jobs. The quality of the jobs matter. It matters. These are not jobs of dignity. In many countries, workers no longer have a voice. They are not allowed to unionize. They are not allowed to negotiate for salaries. So we're talking about jobs, but jobs that bring dignity. We are talking about healthcare. The World Bank has told us that 3.4 billion people who earn $5.5 a day are on the verge, are just a medical bill away from sinking into poverty. They don't have health care.
Yeah, healthcare is a huge issue, especially in the United States. Probably the worst healthcare system in any developed country is in the United States, unfortunately. And we also what happened with the United Healthcare CEO. People are revolting. People are not happy about this being denied their healthcare insurance. This is very sad to see. People have the right to have healthcare. Healthcare is necessary for everybody to live happily and healthily. Everywhere
they
in the
are
world.
just a crop failure away from sinking back into poverty. They have no crop insurance. So don't tell me about low levels of unemployment. You are counting the wrong things. You're not counting dignity of people. You're counting exploited people.
I want to.
Yes, she's probably 100% right about that one. Let's see what people are saying. Of all people who should speak up, it's Ken Goldman, former CFO, who helped run Yahoo into the ground. He made so many of his former employees unemployed, and here he is completely unaffected, reaping all the reward while showing none of the negative consequences of running a company into the ground. Well, this looked like an employee who got very mad. They always invite these authentic guests to raise great point and then firmly ignore them every year. Yeah, it's just a show. It's all talk and no action behind it. Unfortunately, that's how it is. The ability for rich people to act their oppressed has got me the most infuriating thing. Yes, exactly. Everybody's oppressed, especially the rich. Too many taxes. Too much taxes. The panelists point out of how much the topic is being avoided, and an audience member asks if they could please avoid the topic. Gold, okay. Nobody wants to talk about tax. Yeah, let's talk about more tax. I don't think taxes are going to change anything, honestly. You want to spend the money rightfully onto the people, to grow the economy, to create jobs, to create businesses, to help small businesses grow and hire more people, and give tax breaks to the businesses, especially the small businesses, so they can hire more people. And create greater projects, greater services that benefit their own community in their country. That's what I believe. Taxes and giving money to the government is not going to solve anything, honestly. Stop talking about philanthropy. Stop talking about taxes. This makes sense. No one needs tens of millions of dollars. A real job pays an average income that allows an employee to buy a home. Yeah. And unfortunately, there's inflation. There's a cost of living. Electricity is costing more and more. Transport is costing more and more. Buying a house is costing more and more. Healthcare is costing more and more. And even if you get a job, many people with job cannot afford to live decently, or even buy a home, or even raise a family, because the cost of living is getting too damn high. Unfortunately, that's how it is. Hopefully, we find a solution to all of these problems, not only in the US, but also in Europe, in Asia, in all of the developing countries as well. Let me know what you think about that one in the comments below this video. Thanks for watching and staying with me to the end. I really appreciate you being here as always. Click right there to watch the next video, and I will see you there. Bye bye.